Hello, hello. Have you ever seen something like this? Isn't it cool? Let me play it for you. How do you like it? I really like the sound of this wood. I think it's amazing. Anyway, what I would like to talk to you about today is number 1, your fridge. Number 2, rituals, routines versus spontaneity. And number 3, compensating hamburger. And a little extra would be talking about desires and understanding the origin of your desires. So, I had a question from you. Why do we need our fridge? And what is there to store in the fridge? It seems quite obvious, but I don't have almost nothing really in my fridge, because fruits and veggies, they're better stored outside of the fridge. Even in this heat, you wouldn't want to put your bananas or tomatoes in the fridge. Better to take an extra walk to the market or a drive to a supermarket to get fresh fruit every day than stuff your fridge up with food and then have food which is not fresh for the rest of the week. So, potatoes, dark places but not the fridge. Onions, dark places. Carrots, dark places. For whatever grows under the ground, put it in its native environment. Don't put it into the ground, but put it somewhere dark, like in a drawer, but not in the fridge. And with stuff like bananas, hang them. Apples, plums, whatever else, fruit, keep them in a fruit basket and update it every day, because fruits do not like to be stored for a very long time. And avocados, wrap them up in newspaper and store them somewhere outside. So what goes in the fridge? Almonds can go in the fridge. Yeah, why not? They don't have to, but they can. And stuff like cosmetics, if you have any. Frozen bananas that you peel and use for ice cream and cocktails, they can go in the fridge, without the peels of course. Freezer. And things like seaweed, dried seaweed, is better stored in the freezer because it's drier there than outside, especially if you live in tropical climate, which you probably don't, so that's useless. Yeah, fridge. Do you want to look into our fridge? Let's see. I'm going to take you to the fridge. Let's see what we have here. Seaweed. Oh yeah, frozen raspberries. And more seaweed. That was the freezer. And in the fridge, well, I keep my grains in the fridge. So there's rice and sesame oil. Again, sesame oil. Then we have lime in the fridge. And cacao, ginseng. I don't know what's this doing in the fridge. Tahini. Raw vegan tahini. Oh, that's interesting. And then things like hand cream for when I go to travel. And something really yummy. Yay. That can go in the fridge too. And a bag of almonds. And what's in there? That's a jar with some black stuff. Do you want to check it out? No? Okay. And, oh, one vegetable, if this vegetable can go in the fridge, is your mushrooms. So it's a set of mushrooms that I'm going to eat tomorrow. And that's it. What else do we have in here? Chocolate. So, this is what the fridge is for. And everything else is outside. Now the fridge doesn't want to close anymore. Everything else is outside in the fruit basket right here, see? And bananas are hanging and all the fruit are lying around, more or less. So, this was my fridge. Enough about the fridge. Now, let's talk about rituals and routine versus spontaneity. You know how everything in life is cycles. The sun rises and sets every day, and spring comes every year, and women have their periods every month, and everything is a cycle. And if you look at the animals, they sleep and wake up at the same time with the sun, basically. And we are also part of this nature, so we should also obey the rule of cycles. But we're not a machine, so we have to obey the cycles, but also be spontaneous at the same time and keep the balance. And you see, with some unpleasant tasks, what you might consider unpleasant, doing weekly washing or daily washing, or say cleaning your house, it's an unpleasant task. If you have a set time for it, it is much easier to do. So if you say, every Thursday night after I come back from work, I don't go to the gym, but I clean my house. And when it's Thursday, you know that it's the right time to clean your house. So you don't feel so unpleasant for it, because you are already mentally prepared for the task at hand. So you just get it out of the way and enjoy the rest of the night. And I like to bring routines and rituals into my life, because when it's regulated, it's really easy to, let's compare it to a building. There's strong infrastructure, right? There's a strong frame, very stable. Then you just put all these spontaneous decorations on it, like, say, a sudden trip somewhere nice, or something unplanned with the people you really like, or alone, and spoil yourself by this surprise meal that is very special to you. So spontaneity is also very important. You don't want to end up like a machine, having all these like regulated tasks and doing them every day. 1 hour yoga and then studying for 3 hours and eating and sleeping, and that's so boring. I could never live like that. So we need to keep it a balance, but don't forget strong infrastructure. Yeah. So you can't say, oh, I eat when I'm hungry and I sleep when I'm tired, because your body will get very confused when you put it to sleep at 9 one day and at 12 the next. It's like, oh, what's happening? I don't know. So the immune system also weakens if you do that. Body doesn't like too much surprises. Now, about also a question from you, if you can compensate eating a hamburger. Well, I guess a hamburger is a representation of the unhealthy food or something that you shouldn't be really having. There are some good hamburgers with nice bread, which is half healthy, and some good quality meat, but I bet you're talking about a hamburger that you get at a junk food store, which isn't really good. Okay, you can compensate it. It's like when you're looking after yourself and when you're really healthy and you build up this strong immune system and your tank of energy is really full, and you have a lot of magic enzyme that you can use to, I don't know, do all these sudden things like eat a big hamburger, but use that energy and use that enzyme sparingly, because it's like gold, and it's really hard to make, and it takes a lot of effort to fill up these containers full of magic enzyme, full of life, and you don't want to waste it on a hamburger. Of course, you will recover if you've been good to your body for a week and then you have a hamburger. It's not going to do much damage, but it will take a lot of your enzyme. So do you really want to use that enzyme on a hamburger? Or you can use it on a 6-hour hike in the mountains. Maybe that is better. So it's all about choices. You know what? After you've been good to yourself, you will realize that you don't really want a hamburger, because we crave food that we are used to, and breaking the habit is the difficult part. But once you have broken the habit, you know, if somebody shows me an ice cream now, it's like, so that doesn't look like food at all. Or a fried chicken leg, you know, dripping in oil and smelling of this artificial chicken essence. And it's just it's not food anymore. It's something, smells nice, looks nice, but I don't want to consume it. So that's on your compensation of things that you shouldn't be doing. Now, listening to your desires and understanding them. Your question was if you should always listen to your desires and follow them. Of course not, because who knows what sort of desires your body will come up with, and your mind too. You have to learn to understand the origin of your desires, which is very important. And if that origin is of a destructive source, comes from unnatural cravings and something that is in the end not good for you, then you have to explain to your body and mind that this desire is not authentic and should not be fulfilled due to this, this and this. And once you have all the facts why you shouldn't be desiring a certain thing, you understand, you make yourself understand and deal with the desire. Okay, so understanding your desire. And now the mistress is coming. Hello. It's kind of fun playing this two-person's role. Okay, and for my 101s and 201 students today, there are two issues. First one is not harming others. And by that I mean that some of you are single, but a lot of you are in relationships with people whose feelings count. And now you're doing this online slave training course with me, and you say that you belong to me and you're serving your mistress. And I'm sure your partner does not know about this, and they shouldn't know about this. This is the part of yourself which is submissive and which needs addressing, and I'm sure that you have tried it with your partner and it didn't work for some reason, so you're looking here on YouTube, which is understandable. But you know how sometimes your tasks involve things like chastity, which might affect your partner. Because, you know, so if you're obeying the Sundays only rule and your partner suddenly feels like doing something with you on a Monday and you say, oh no, I don't feel like it, then you might hurt their feelings because it is something that they're not expecting and don't know the reason why you are rejecting them. So be very careful not to hurt and harm your current relationships. And it was, you know, being your mistress and controlling you, it's in no way denying you having relationships with other people, because it is part of your life and part of who you are, part of your offline life, and this is your online life, which can mix, but I would not want you to hurt anybody. And it was lovely to get an email from one of you yesterday saying how he helps his pregnant wife and is looking forward to his first baby in January. And it was really beautiful. And submissive men make really nice, caring husbands and good fathers too, I'm sure, because you go an extra mile out of your way to help the woman and serve the woman. So that was my point on not harming others. And you don't have to hide from me that you're married or that you have a girlfriend, and that is fine. Just be careful with this. You might tell her about what you're doing, or you might keep it secret. But if you do keep it secret, don't leave your email box open so that she doesn't get shocked and hurt. And I don't take any responsibility for hurting others because I can't control it directly. The second point today will be what is a little extra and what is overdoing it. In my introduction letter to you, 101 students, I have wrote that a little extra is expected from you. And what is this little extra? A little extra can be anything that you come up with your creativity and your skills that you've acquired from this training so far. So a little extra is up to you, and I don't want to tell you what exactly it is. But overdoing it is by, again, thinking about some selfish desires and say, doing something that your mistress would not really directly benefit from, which is not serving her but serving yourself, and projecting it onto her, i.e. me. That can involve sending loads and loads of pictures of yourself when you weren't asked to, or sending too many updates on your tasks. Say, if I ask you to be in chastity for a week, this is just an example, you don't need to send a lengthy email every day of how hard it is to follow the order, because you're making me feel guilty with this. And it's very hard to make me feel guilty, but if you're not enjoying it in the first place, you don't submit to a mistress. Because mistress is there to give you tasks which will be hard. That is the whole point. Why would I give you easy tasks, like stroke your right hand by left hand and so on? That's too easy, right? It has to be hard, and it has to test you and make you stronger. So, a little extra is serving your mistress, not serving yourself. Think about it next time you want to write an update on how you're doing with one of your tasks. Just from whose point of view are you writing it, and whose point of view are you viewing it from? You should be able to see both angles. That is it for today. Tomorrow is Friday, and your first homework is due in tomorrow, so hope to get it from all of you.